this.
How do you guys think Winota is in this current meta? How do you feel about Winota?
Winota, I think Winota is in a great place. I
Oh,
really do.
it
I
is.
think Winota is like, I mean, Winota is a tricky deck depending on the meta. If the meta is full farm, like Winota versus 3 farm decks, it depends mostly on turn order. If
Right.
Winota can get like a stacks piece before all the other farm decks play, and even then, even if Winota plays a stacks piece, I've played games and I've seen games where the 3 farm decks, hey, let's just remove these and whoever wins win. Yeah, let's do it. And
Yeah.
like, yeah,
So,
hey, yeah, let's
mhm.
remove the stacks, and if I
Right.
don't win, you can win on your
Yeah.
turn, and if you don't win, the other person can win.
Release the
Yeah, we're not
floodgates.
playing stacks. We're
Yeah.
not
So,
playing. I
well,
mean,
here's
it's not like king
go ahead.
making and stuff, but I mean, I'm trying to remove it. Just don't counter it, so I can try to win. And
Right.
then if I don't
Hmm.
win, you're probably gonna win. So it's a
Yeah,
win-win scenario.
for everybody.
So
So
there are
here's
like
I think Winona's really good right now, and so Winona by design solves a lot of what I see as like the fundamental issues with like hate pair style
that's
strategies,
yeah,
because Winona presents a good clock, and indicative of the name, Winona tends to snowball the hate pieces into play relatively rapidly.
yeah.
Thus,
Winota solves one of the biggest problems with stacks, which is playing, which is card advantage. It
mhm.
doesn't have like real card advantage, like drawing cards, but it puts them on board, which is better. Like,
Right, because all your interactions permanent based anyway, so you just
yeah,
get it all out. And the other thing that's nice is that because it's so like aggressive, it's able to close a game out really fast. Which is
yeah,
like I used to play Blood Pot a lot. I love Blood Pot, but like you had so many games where you just wound up like derping around under your own hate pieces and not able to win, or since nobody's got nothing better to do, they just wind up burning all their interaction on you because you're the only one doing anything. Um, whereas
Q Stars
Winota,
actually, yeah,
go-
Q Stars actually built a Blood Pot deck recently, which is he dropped like few of stacks pieces to put a Hermit Druid line, which is pretty cool because you
mhm.
can like Hermit Druid and then
Yeah,
Dread Return the Karmic Guide and do the stuff. So it's like I
yeah,
love it. Yeah, it's pretty much like you have like all this text based deck. You can win, and if you get to Hermit, you can win on top of Rule of Law effects.
yep.
So this is awesome. I
I'd like to
love
see
his
that
list.
list,
He's
by the
playing
way.
like yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You were talking about Winota. Sorry, Timmy.
Oh, all I was saying was, I mean, that was pretty much it. Was just that what I like is that it tends to, at least from my perspective of it, tends to solve a lot of the fundamental issues with hate bear and hate piece,
Exactly.
like permanent based interaction style strategies, because Winota is so aggressive, which
Yeah.
is it almost plays more like, from what I've seen, more like a Sly deck. I don't know how. I'm an old timey guy, so I've got like all the old terms. So Sly is kind of was the original was the original deck that kind of coined the term mana, like curving out.
Mm-hmm.
So Sly was kind of the first deck to where you would play a 1 drop on one, either a 2 drop or 2 1 drops on two, and it was very aggressive, and then you would kind of burn them out at the end.
Got it. Got
And
it.
and and Winona is very much like a cEDH version of that.
Yeah, I think Winota is in a pretty good place in the meta. I mean, it depends on how is the meta specifically. If it's against 3 farm decks, the farm decks can just like team up to remove stacks and
Right.
win.
Yeah.
But if it's not like that, if it's like some mid range and some farms, like if it's a mix, I
Yeah.
think Winota is in a great place. And we actually have a CDH Trice League, which in the past I mean, in the past, we started January last year, so in the past
Mm-hmm.
16 months, I think we not all won 3 times, which is more three no more than 3 times, 4 times, which is the most winning deck on the
Okay.
the period.
So,
Nice. All right.
Yeah, but because it's a mixed like meta. We
Mm-hmm.
have like lots of stacks. It's more stacks based than farm based. The league people
Yeah.
love playing stacks here in Brazil. I don't know why.
Cheaper.
And, and
It tends to be
yeah,
cheaper. I mean, to be honest, that's at the end of the day. Rule of laws are about $2, and Wheel of
yeah,
Fortune
yeah,
is about 300.
for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. So I
All
believe
right.
Winata cannot be good like against other farm decks, other stacks decks, because it can definitely put pressure, but it's not that effective, I believe,
No.
because other stacks decks always have like ways to remove or ways to stop, or like cards like Containment Priests to stop Winota,
Kind
or
of
cards
blank a
like
lot of
Graph
their.
Case to stop
Yeah.
Winota.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe in that scenario, Winota cannot be a good deck. But as far as of blind meta, I believe Winota is the best text deck out
All
there,
right. I think that
or the
about
top
covers
two.
that. I think that
Yeah, or the
about
top
covers
two,
it.
pretty much.
yeah, so I think with Winota that I like about Winota is it takes the decision out of the player's hand. I think that was one of the big things I had against um not good stacks players. There's no polite way to say it, but
Yeah,
um like
it's
people
pretty hard to
who
play stacks.
correct, and especially in a multiplayer game, it's
Oh my
very hard
god.
to play stacks. You can play stacks, you cut two-person out, but the two players that been cut out was already behind, and you made the guy who's already in front first in front. So I think we
Yeah,
know to take that aspect out of the game. It just gives you the cards, and you either put it into play or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you believe is going to
yeah,
push you forward,
Mm-hmm.
I believe Winota is the best aggro deck as
yeah,
aggro can get in cEDH. I
yeah,
don't
Yeah.
think anything beats it.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I got outrun by a Winota deck playing Agila.
Yeah, no, it happens, and
Oh, it can
I saw
race.
Najula. Yeah, no, it can race. It
Yeah.
can race
Yeah,
as long as the person, like, there's a few people who's playing Winota was like they like to. I think for like stacks players, when they have a big board, they like to make everyone life total low together. And I don't believe I personally, my
it's not
opinion,
necessarily correct,
is
but
not
yeah,
correct.
No, and
You
the
find,
only reason I would do that in pod was because you're getting Timna draws off of it, and that was a
yeah,
little different.
yeah,
but I
yeah,
believe you find whoever the threat is under the stack pieces you have on board,
Yeah,
who is
who's least
playing the best
affected.
under them. And then
yeah.
you just alpha strike. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just swing the whole 30 at them. If they want to bitch about it, let them bitch. But they'll swing 30
Yeah,
next
you just
turn.
gotta commit.
You just gotta commit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I
Yeah,
keep telling Window the players. Just commit to one
just
player.
one person.
They
Yeah,
either you put them in the position of they have to tutor for a way to remove your board, or they have to try to combo under your stacks.
right.
yeah.
And
It
comboing
kind
under
of
your stacks doesn't work
Yep.
out.
Yeah,
All right.
it kind of remind me of the early cEDH meta that we had here. It was like it was um, transitioning from high EDH to cEDH at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing Cass,
Mm-hmm.
and this one friend of mine was playing Brago, and another player was playing Zur. And the Zur was not like a Doomsday Zur; it was more like a
Whole box.
adaptive, yeah, toolbox there, but it was
Yeah.
not stacks either. It was not stacks either. It was like values there with some Voltron win conditions,
Right.
and it
Right.
had some combos with Animate Dead and Sun Titan and Blasting Station,
Running like
because Zur
Steel of the
gets the
Godhead,
animate.
that kind of stuff.
Not Steel of the Godhead, but they had like the Imperial Armor,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
and like Aura Swap plus
Yeah.
Atrazine Conscription. It was
Yep.
like a very well built deck.
Okay.
And I was playing Cat Storm. And whenever I got into this spot, the Brago player would drop stacks. And we said that the Zur player would surf over the stacks pieces because it was like a toolbox Zur. Yeah. exactly. So he just like
Yeah.
attack, get necro, fill his hand, and then attack, get a like a Voltron piece, like diplomatic immunity.
Yep.
So like it can't be targeted, and
Yep.
the aura can be targeted. So
Just.
it was pretty much each like this deck won lots of games under this like
Oh man.
scenario. And
Oh
I
man.
was I was pretty frustrated because I was just telling this tax guy, which is the point of this story. You gotta know when to play stacks because
You do.
whenever you play stacks, he wins. Because I won't win because I'm under stacks, but his deck wins under stacks,
Right.
and his
His.
deck wins better. His deck wins faster than yours.
Yeah. And
So
that's an important thing to
yeah,
remember.